Millions of pages of U.S. Justice Department and court records linked to convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein were released on January 30th. The files include emails, audio recordings, contacts, financial records, and tens of thousands of images and videos. So far, most attention has focused on the famous names mentioned, but the documents tell a bigger story. They show Epstein was not just a criminal hiding in plain sight. He was a connector, a middleman, someone who built a powerful network that linked politics, academia, business, and technology for decades. This is part one of that story. This is Epstein's power network. From the 1990s onwards, Epstein positioned himself as someone who could open doors. Court filings and emails show he arranged introductions, private meetings, and discreet gatherings between influential figures. He used private jets, luxury homes, and invitation-only dinners to create controlled spaces where powerful people met away from scrutiny. He wasn't just socializing, he was trading access. Epstein donated money to elite universities and research programs, buying proximity to senior academics and institutional leadership. That access translated into legitimacy. People approached him for funding, introductions, and advice on political or reputational problems. This combination of money, connections, and discretion became the backbone of his network. At the center of his operations was former British socialite and now convicted child sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell. Prosecutors identified Maxwell as Epstein's primary facilitator. Victims testified that she recruited vulnerable teenage girls, transported them to Epstein's homes, and helped groom them for sexual abuse. Several victims said Epstein and Maxwell placed hidden cameras in bedrooms and bathrooms to gain compromising material to use for nefarious purposes. Thousands of images were seized during raids by authorities. Still, the implication was clear. Epstein didn't just collect people, he collected leverage. Relationships with politicians gave Epstein protection and reach. Emails show him advising political figures and strategists, offering to arrange meetings with world leaders. He maintained contact with senior U.S. officials, like former U.S. Secretary of the Treasury Larry Summers, well after his 2008 conviction. Former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, who was photographed visiting Epstein's home and appears in flight logs, consulted with the sex offender on business ventures and investments, including defense and cyber startups. Epstein's calendars also show meetings with tech billionaire Peter Thiel, and repeated discussions about Palantir and surveillance technology were found in his communications.
However, he has a company called Palantir. So he thought that Peter would put you on the board of Palantir. He and Andreessen, it's called Andreessen Horowitz. They are the biggest venture capital people in Silicon Valley.
Virginia Giuffre, one of the first Epstein victims to speak out, accused a powerful political figure of rape in her memoir.
I was recruited at a very young age from Mar-a-Lago and entrapped in a world that I didn't understand, and I've been fighting that very world to this day, and I won't stop fighting.
While not named directly, court filings and travel records point to Barak, who was a regular presence in Epstein's world. Epstein's network extended into media and political strategy. Former Trump advisor Steve Bannon exchanged hundreds of messages with Epstein between 2018 and 2019. They discussed politics, travel, and even a documentary aimed at rehabilitating Epstein's image. Some messages were sent just months before Epstein's 2019 arrest. In the UK, Epstein's reach extended deep into the establishment. Senior Labour Party figure Peter Mandelson introduced Epstein to then Prime Minister Tony Blair. In 2025, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer removed Mandelson as UK ambassador to the US after messages revealed the scale of his relationship with Epstein. Mandelson is now under investigation for allegedly leaking sensitive information to the convicted criminal. Then there is Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the now former prince. Epstein's files reference Andrew hundreds of times. In 2022, Giuffre accused him of sexually abusing her when she was 17. In response, Queen Elizabeth II stripped Andrew of his military roles, and in 2025, King Charles III removed his remaining royal titles. Andrew's former wife, Sarah Ferguson, also exchanged warm emails with Epstein, calling him a legend. Academia gave Epstein intellectual cover. He donated millions to Harvard University, funding research programs and maintaining close contact with senior academics and having access to offices. Emails show ongoing engagement with senior faculty, including Professor Martin Nowak. He also donated repeatedly to Massachusetts Institute of Technology, including after his conviction. New files also reveal correspondence with Professor Noam Chomsky, for whom Epstein sought advice on handling media coverage of sex trafficking allegations. Business and tech kept Epstein relevant. He was well connected to global players and decision-makers even after his conviction. He invested millions in ventures linked to Thiel in 2014. After the Brexit vote, he exchanged emails with Thiel, framing the political instability as a market opportunity. He also exchanged multiple emails with the founder of Virgin Group, Richard Branson. In 2013, the billionaire invited Epstein to his privately owned Necker Island in the Caribbean, saying, "Anytime you're in the area, would love to see you, as long as you bring your harem." In the very same email, Branson suggested that Epstein should use Microsoft founder Bill Gates to publicly rehabilitate his image after being exposed by indictments in 2009 and victims' testimonies in the years that followed. Gates later acknowledged meeting Epstein multiple times and called it a mistake. 2 days before his death in a Manhattan jail cell, Epstein signed a will listing nearly $600 million in assets. He named Boris Nikolic as successor executor, despite having no direct business relationship with the biotech investor. What these files reveal is not just criminal behavior. They expose a system, one where money bought access, access bought protection, and silence kept the network alive. The real question is no longer who knew Epstein. It's how so many institutions allowed his power network to endure.